Can you check if I'm live on YouTube as well? Let's see. I think I'm live on YouTube. Okay, great. It looks like I'm live. Finally was able to figure out how to do this. Took a live stream on different channels. So let me go live right now. And hi everyone, Oksana here. So what I want you to do is save this video because I'm gonna have part two for this video, and I want you to have seen the first part before I share with you part two. And those of you who are new to our channel or our Facebook page, my name is Oksana. I am a peer-reviewed published immunology scientist with 16 years of cellular repair research. And my research has been published in JAMA Surgery, Cancer Letters, and Journal of Surgical Research. And we have also helped over 500 people around the world repair their cellular environment and reverse what conventional medicine said was permanent within 30 to 60 days without supplements. And in addition, our next private client intake opens in August. So those of you who are looking to get a help, then you can comment apply under this video and we'll send you more information how you can work with us privately one-on-one to help you with your health. We take a very small number of clients. Every application is personally reviewed by us. And we only say yes to people that we know we can help and who are going to be successful working with us. And in this video, I want to tell you about someone. I came across this true story recently, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. And the more I thought about, the more I realized that I have to share it with you because there's something in the story that I think a lot of us need to hear, especially right now, what's going on in the world. So this story is a true story. It's about this girl. She grew up in Georgia in 1930s. And from the time she was young, she was really different. She had this gift, the ability to see people and see what she saw to put it into words. And her dad, he understood her, and he was the only person who actually understood her. And they had this really special connection that did not even need words. They had the same type of humor, same way of looking into at the world, and he would collect the things that she wrote about and show them to anyone that came over to their house because he was so proud of her and she knew it. She felt really strong connection with her dad. And when she was 15 years old, something started happening with her dad. It was actually small at first. He seemed tired. Something was off, and he had a rush on his face that would not go away. He started sleeping more. He lost his business. He had to start over with a job that paid less. And then the sleeping more turned into barely being able to get out of the bed. And the tiredness turned into something that looked like his whole body was shutting down. And she would stand outside the door at night listening to her parents talk in low voice about what the doctors were saying. And she could not make out everything, but she knew the way she knew that something was seriously wrong with the person she really cared about. So her dad, she was 15 years old. It's a true story, and I'm gonna share her name with you. She's a really famous person, and she was famous person at the time. But in February 1941, her dad died, and he was 45 years old. Months later, she found out what her dad was sick with. His own body was attacking his healthy tissue from the inside out. It was destroying him slowly, and medicine at that point had almost nothing to offer. It was 1940s. And I'm going to share what he was sick with. If you've been following us, you probably could guess what killed him at 45 years old. So Her dad was her whole world, but something happened to her after her dad died. Because he died so early and she was only 15 years old, instead of falling apart, she actually got focused, and she lost the most important person in her life. And what she did is she threw herself into her work. She got really serious about what she wanted to do with her life. She got accepted into really respected college in the country. She got a full scholarship. She moved away from home for the first time. She started getting attention from the right people. Opportunities started opening up. She started working on something big, something she really believed in. And then in the winter of 1915, she gets on the train to go home for the holidays. And again, this was like about 10 years after her dad died. And her dad died in 1941 when he was only 45 years old. And then she started getting sick as well. And just 10 years after her dad died, she gets home to go home on for the holidays. And by the time the train pulls into the station, she could barely walk. She described it later as feeling as if she had become elderly overnight. Her whole body just gave out. She was admitted to the hospital immediately. She had fevers. She had severe pain in every joint. She couldn't stand without help. And then the test results came, and she had the same disease that destroyed her father. And those of you who follow us and you know what we do and how we help people, you probably could guess what her dad died from. Her dad died at 45 years old, and here she is, barely 18 years old, and she got the same disease, lupus. She had autoimmune disease, the same disease that destroyed her father. And she's been carrying it her whole life, and now it showed up. And she was actually so her dad died at 1941, and in 1950s she got sick, I think 1950, and she was 25 years old, and she knew that she was looking at the same road her father had walked, the road that ended at 45 years old. So this is where the story goes in a direction I did not expect. And I read it in a book, and I wanted to share with you because I think the story has a good lesson at the end that I want to share with you. So that's why watch till the end so you can see what kind of lesson I'm going to share with you. They were shared in this book. So if you were 25 years old and you just found out that maybe you had 15 more years to live, if you were lucky, what would most people do? Most people would fall apart. Most people would get angry. They'd accept the situation. They would grieve the life that they thought they were going to have. And she did none of that. So the doctors put her on the only thing they knew at the time. It was actually considered a miracle drug. It was a steroid. You know about it. Everybody knows about it. It was considered a miracle drug at the time. Everyone was excited about it. It helped her with pain. It calmed down her inflammation. It gave her some energy to do the work she wanted to do. And but her hair fell out. Her face swelled up from this drug. It started eating away at her bones, her hip, her jaw. She actually ended up being unconscious. Her arms got so weak she could only type for a short window each day before she had to stop. And eventually, the drug that was supposed to be a miracle gave her tumors. And she needed blood transfers regularly just to function. And through all of it, the hair loss, the face was swollen from this drug, the arms that gave out, she could only work a certain amount of time. And every single morning, 2 to 3 hours a day, she would write. And actually, she became a famous writer. Some of the most celebrated writing, she wrote some of the most celebrated writing in American history, produced by a woman who was so sick, the disease that was eating her life, and the drugs that were actually making her worse, that everyone was called a cure. Did the drug reverse anything? No. Did it save her? It did not save her. She actually died at 38 years old. So the miracle drug was not a miracle. It was the only option anyone had at the time. But what most people do, most people, when they get sick, they accept their reality. They get sick, they actually stop treating themselves well, and she did not have any options. That was the only option she had. That was everything medicine could offer to her in 1950, a drug that managed the surface while the disease kept progressing underneath, and actually gave her all these other problems like osteoporosis. So there was no protocol for giving the body what it needs to stop actually to heal herself. So I want to let you think about it. And she actually worked. She became a famous writer. She wrote a lot of books because she knew she did not have a lot of time. She got to work to be able to accomplish things she wanted to accomplish in a short amount of time. But she wanted to do everything she could with everything that existed. And the question I want to ask you, what she would have given, what she have traded off for the knowledge that exists right now. So we are helping people with autoimmune diseases, and a lot of people, they find us, they still don't want to do what we offer to them. They still don't want to do the program. They still want to continue taking either drugs or trying something, supplements, ongoing treatments. So she actually would have traded everything to have all the opportunities that we have right now. So to know things today that nobody knew in her time, because people right now have too many options. So they have too many options and they don't know what to do. They're overwhelmed with information, so they end up being in a what we call analysis paralysis. They're so overwhelmed that they just don't want to choose to do anything. But remember, in the email that we sent to you, if you want to sign up to a newsletter, you can reach out to us. But in the email we recently sent to you, is we talked about how God rarely blesses paralysis. God only blesses movement. So we know what we need to do to help you have amazing health. But a lot of people are not doing it, because we had a client in 21 days, she was symptom free. We had a client who's even lung function improved in a program. He had lung fibrosis, and within 14 days, his lung function improved. He went to do stem cell therapy, and even stem cell therapy did not work for him, as well as what we did together helped him, okay, in only 14 days. So she never got to experience any of that. She never had that opportunity, not because she didn't have the will. She had more will than most people will ever understand. She wrote books on crunches with arms that were too weak to type. She worked through everything. Most people, when they get a diagnosis, they say tomorrow, right? She knew she did not have tomorrow. She knew she had maybe 10 years to live more. She died even younger than her dad was. And most people say they'll start next week. I'll take my health seriously. I'll just take it seriously when I get cancer, right? The whole point of working with us is to stop the progression of diseases. It doesn't matter what disease you have, whether it's cancer. Why do you want to wait until you get sicker? What is the point of living your life being sicker? So that's what most people do. They say tomorrow, week after week, assuming they have more time, assuming the disease won't really take them, assuming things will just somehow work out without them actually having to do it. This is a book written by Robert Greene, who wrote the book where I found the story. It's called The Law of Death Denial, and the way human beings avoid the reality of death so completely that they stop living with any real purpose. And that's because most people, they just drift through life. They go through the motions, they stay comfortable, they say tomorrow, because they don't realize that, life goes by so fast that we're gonna die. We're all going to die so soon. There's really no tomorrow. We don't know how much we have on this earth. So one day tomorrow looks different. That's what people think. A diagnosis lands, a symptom does not go away, someone close to them dies too young. All of those tomorrows that you were thinking about, they don't feel as guaranteed as they did before. So she had the moment at 15 years old when she watched her father die, and then again at 25 years old when she got her own diagnosis. And each time, instead of shutting down, she woke up. She got clearer, more serious about her work, what she wanted to accomplish, because tomorrow was not guaranteed for her. She knew that she's gonna die, like her dad did, and she became more present with people around her, more honest about what actually mattered, because she knew she wanted to write. She wanted to write. She had all these dreams, and she tried to accomplish them in a short amount of time. While most people, they say tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes, because tomorrow is today. Okay, so the people who heal the fastest are not the ones who have been sick the longest. They are not the ones with the mildest case. They are the ones who finally stopped treating their health like something they would deal with eventually, and started treating it like its most urgent thing in their life. So they didn't focus, I'm gonna do it on tomorrow. And we had clients who actually worked with us during Christmas, and so many clients worked with us during holidays, because they decided they're gonna do this. It doesn't matter what day, it doesn't matter what year it is, it doesn't matter what the economy is. They decided they're gonna become serious about their life and their health, because there's no tomorrow. And this is what we do, is we build on exactly the science that did not exist in her time, in this brightest time. And the people I work with are not people who are giving up hope after years of being let down. I work with people who actually refuse to accept this is the reality. Because when you there's actually really a quote that I wanted to share with you, that what we fear the most is what we expect. So if you're gonna expect that you're gonna be sick with your disease, that you're gonna get worse, that's exactly what's gonna happen, because that's what we fear the most. And our brain actually what it does is when you have expectations for your health, it's gonna only see negative things. It's not gonna see opportunities that are out there for you to be able to recover, because you're actually gonna be blinded to them. And we feel what we expect the most. So if you expect that you're gonna be sick, that everybody's out there to get you, nobody actually wants you to want to help you. If you're gonna think like that, that's exactly what you're gonna get. So if you're gonna think everybody's scammer out there, that's exactly, you're actually gonna find scammers who's gonna scam you because you're thinking that. So people who are used to solving problems, who understand that the health is the foundation underneath everything else they want to have in their life, they take it very seriously and they actually have a positive mindset. These are people who understand what is possible. They move. They don't spend 4 years watching our videos and getting inspiration from our client results just to go work with a functional doctor who doesn't have a client results. And they go take advice from somebody else. That's one thing I wanted to share with you, is that this author, she wrote in her notebook after her father died, the reality of death has come upon us like a bullet in the side. Let your diagnosis be that bullet, not the thing that ends your story, the thing that finally starts it. Stop saying tomorrow, start saying today. So another thing